So I was scrolling through Instagram one day and I saw a video of a woman with a swollen, bruised face. She was a victim of domestic violence, and sadly, she admitted that she wasn't able to come out of it. She was enduring the marriage because she didn't have a business, she didn't have money, and there was nobody to, there was nothing to fall back on, and there was no other plan. And this is a story of many women in our country today. Too many women realize too late that you need to have solid careers before going into marriage. When you go into marriage without doing anything as a woman, without having business or without having money as a woman, you become very vulnerable in marriage. So this isn't about love, this isn't about tradition, it is real risk. You need to be self-sufficient, you need to have something doing, you need to have a solid career as a woman before going into marriage. And that's why I decided to bring a women empowerment advocate who will be talking to us today on why it is important to build a solid career as a young lady, as a young woman before going into marriage. And I'm sure you want to know who this person is. Welcome to today's episode of Women in Business right here on Afia TV. My name is Marvelous Apwamaga. Stay with us. On today's episode of Women in Business, we will be unpacking this with Onyia Vivian Amara. She is a coordinator of Lioness Hub, national coordinator of the Women in Real Estate Network, and she is not only passionate about innovation in the real estate sector, but also about helping women embrace their purpose and build strong careers before and beyond marriage. She's sitting with me right here in the studio today. So welcome on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
So good to have you here.
Honestly, I'm so excited because this is us. This is business, and I know that a lot of narrative needs to be changed about the women. So lending my voice will also go a long way to change narratives about it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. So let's start from your career. You're one who wears many hats. You're a data scientist, you are a real estate, you're a realtor, you own a community called Lioness Hub, women community. So you tell us more about our community because we really do not know much about it. So how are you able to, gather all of this? How are you able to put all of this together? How did you go into each of these fields? I'd like you to tell us, starting from data to real estate and the community.
Okay, it's been a long time. Knowing from my background, where I came from, it's really a humbling one. And looking at the environment, I came from a very humble background. And after that, after my secondary school, I ventured into teaching. I taught for 4 years before university. So in that circle of teaching, I saw a lot. I had one-on-one interaction with parents. I see the struggles, I see the education aspect, I saw cool teachers and a lot of them. So it was a defining moment for me, and I made up my mind that before there should be a career for myself. So entering school, I did computer science, I picked up interest in data, and after that was where the journey began. I knew that it's not just about empowering myself, I needed a community whereby these values, these virtues I'm building, I need to transfer it to other women. So that was how I met Lioness Hub, and this is more than 5 years I've been building that community online, and we've done a lot of massive projects. We've done 2 conferences, with the 3rd one loading, and then we've done outreaches, we've done youth, young child outreach at primary schools, and then online, we've done a lot of things online. And then because I'm so particular about a woman becoming financially stable, I know that what is my passion has not started paying, and I needed the funds for that. So that was why I ventured into real estate. So it's my 3 years plus in real estate, and by the special grace of God, it has been a lot of feat doing that business. And in 3 years doing the business, I've traveled out of Nigeria on all expense paid trip to Rwanda doing real estate. So commissions and a lot of things. And it's been an amazing ride. And not just doing the real estate business. We also have a community, which is the women in real estate, because we don't just want women to come in and they're stranded on knowing their left from their right. So that was why the community, which is spearheaded by our president, Mrs. Onyia Amara, it's a powerful community, and we've done amazing projects also. The first conference, second conference, and then the third conference that will be coming up in Abuja. So we've empowered ladies. We see people coming, not even knowing what to do, not even have nothing in their pocket, and in less than 1 year, they've been able to raise capital, start up their own businesses. So the empowerment has just been going, but the bottom line of it all is the drive. I knew where I came from, I knew the environment I came in from, so it became a hunger. So I don't just want to see women around me not becoming the best of themselves. I try as much as I can for every woman that comes close to me knows that when they meet me, they don't live the same.
Yeah, so, I'd like to come in there.
Okay.
You said, I want to ask you, what motivated you to, start the community? Because from all of the things you said, from your bio, it seems you're passionate about women. Of course, you're a women empowerment advocate. What really motivated you? You said you know where you came from. Where are you coming from? Would you like to share that with us?
I want to say something. For Lioness Hub community, because that's where I started the journey. For Lioness Hub, it was founded by a male. So why I coordinate the community. But over time, when he shared the vision with me, that's the Lioness Hub, that lady with purpose, it synced with what I wanted, because I wanted to see a place whereby women are still sane in this 21st century. We still have a woman who promotes value, who promotes virtue, but still doing business. Women who can go extra mile. So the community values sync with my own value system. So that was why for the past 4 years, I've been volunteering for the community, regardless of no pay. Because most people say this is a passion, but still at the same time, they're looking for money out of it. But for all the years I've done things for women, I have not been paid any dime. And I'm not ready for any pay, because it's a passion, it's a burden. I need the money, I need the business to go and empower women.
Yeah. You've also told me where you're coming from.
Well,
yes, tell me. I'm interested.
Okay.
I want to know. Where are you? You said you started this knowing where you're coming from. You don't want other women to experience what you experienced.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So tell us, where are you coming from? What's your story?
Okay. I have a long story, but let me make it brief. Just like I said earlier, I came from a very humble background, and for the females, we support, but not really that support. So I really want to find a situation whereby I don't become a burden to my partner in the future. So I don't want that narrative to repeat itself, or that cycle to repeat itself, in the sense that when in the family, at least the woman should be able to support, not just saying this is a man's responsibility, but at least there should be little things that has to do with the family that you should be able to support. So I saw it clear around me, clear around people that I grew with, clear around the environment I also grew in the sense that I have a woman that the husband at some point, because of financial constraints, had to abandon the children, and then it became hell for her. So even till date, I still had to visit to support the little I can. So it became a drive. I saw women around me that they are so privileged. They are privileged people. They are so privileged, but because of lack of finance and because of lack of their potential being utilized, you find out that these women are now becoming a shadow of themselves. And now they don't know how to step out, because one thing I believe about marriage is if marriage is in place and there is no career in place, it takes discipline for a woman to build career. Now this is the reason. Not all women are able to come out of the shell, especially when pregnancy comes in, because it comes with a lot of...
Before we go into you talking deeply about building career before marriage and, challenges involved in building career while in marriage, I would like you to talk to us about WIRE, Women in Real Estate Network.
Yeah.
What unique challenges do women face in that sector that, motivated you to begin or start? You said you assist, you're just a coordinator? Or
Lioness
it is your own group?
No, WIRE is, I'm the national coordinator in WIRE. We have our president, we have our vice president. Okay. WIRE, I'm the national coordinator.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. So what challenges do women face in that sector that WIRE is addressing?
Okay, we are addressing the fact that women doesn't deserve just a seat. They deserve to own at least a table where they also bring the seat and bring people in. So when it has to do with investment, wealth building, that aspect of the economy, we have a tiny space for women. So we want to build it to become a larger space for women. Just like our president will always say that it is about legacy. So we want women to also have legacy that they leave behind. We don't just want them, because I've always heard it's always the men leaving their will behind. I rarely hear that a woman is leaving her will behind. I rarely hear. Do you understand? So the thing is, we want to also have a room where women build wealth for themselves. And not just that, because wire is a vehicle for women to raise capital and build legacies for themselves through investment, through stocks, through a lot of things. But most of them lack that capital to start. So that's why wire is a vehicle where we nurture them. Through real estate, they get the capital that they need, and then they unleash to that level that they want to become. So out of wire, businesses have emerged. People that came in, they have a business idea, but they don't have finance. They don't even know the technical know-how. But being part of the community, they've been able to raise capital, build the knowledge, and then go out to.
How can women join the network?
Okay, the network is online.
Okay.
Via Network Global on Facebook. So we can click, send a message, send us a DM. We can now inculcate it into the community. Over 5,000 women in our community in Wire. So we are building and we're expanding. And not just that, we are currently in 6 states that are actively involved in this women empowerment. So we are in 6 states scattered all over Nigeria. Yeah.
Now, one of your advocacies is that women should build a solid career before going into marriage. Why important? How important, how important is this building a career as a young lady, as a young woman, before venturing into that journey?
I believe that marriage is a whole different aspect of life that entails not just you. You know, as a single person, you're just thinking about you and you alone. But in marriage, you're no longer thinking about you. There is a husband, and then there is a baby or your children on the way. So it's a different ballgame altogether. So I advocate for women to start something, no matter how little it is, because there is still an aspect of womanhood that demands your worth. Marriage is a beautiful thing, is ordained by God, but that is not your true worth, because even the Bible says before you were born, God knew you and ordained you to be something. So there's a calling and there's a purpose over your life. So when it has to do with business, there is there's a passion, there's a skill that can bring in money to the table or can give you global relevance. Okay, just like a few weeks back, everybody's celebrating Hilda. She's single. Everybody's celebrating her. So before marriage, she's doing something that even in marriage, it will be sustained. But what if someone wants to pick up that career after marriage? It's going to happen, but it's going to take a lot of discipline. And sometimes they become missing in action when it has to do with parenting. Because some career women, like people say, that is still at the verge of starting up their career that needs 100% attention. So, but when you start it in single and build the foundation, by the time marriage is there, you already have a team that can be able to help you build and nurture that business even without your physical presence. So, but when you start doing it in marriage, your presence is still needed 100%. And maybe your team is not yet strong to carry that business the way you want to carry it. But now that you're single, you have all the time. Like, you have all the time to build it. Go for the run around, go for the trainings, go for the same. Just like, someone like me, I love trainings. I've traveled to different cities, Port Harcourt, Owerri, Lagos, Abuja for events. So now that I'm single, I have all that time. But if I'm married, I have limitation. Because I still need to convey to my husband, I have this event. If it is something that was within our time schedule, if I have children, I'll start thinking of where do I drop my baby to go for this event? Do I carry, if I'm a nursing mother, should I carry the baby into the event? Or I won't be concentrated to listen for the intent of coming for that conference. But now that I'm single, I have all that time. I can travel anywhere, get the knowledge before marriage.
You know, one of the reasons why women go into marriage is because, they say marry early, give birth to your children so you can grow with them. You can train them while you're young. And you are saying we should, take our time as young women, as young ladies, to build a career for ourselves. But when you look at it, when you look at Nigeria, the economy, you see that before you even start, you're already at 23. Before you know it, you're 26. and it looks like you've not done anything for yourself. I agree. I'm of the opinion to build career for yourself. But if I should start doing all of these things as a lady, I go for trainings, I put my mind on my career rather, and ignore everything about marriage. At what age do you think I'll get married and settle down? What's the right age for you? If you advocate for these things, at what age do you think, okay, the woman should start looking at the love angle or the relationship angle? Probably the marriage angle.
Okay, I really understand.
Yeah.
But for people who started too early, who started this, let's say the path of building businesses. So personally, I don't have any certain age I can tell a woman, okay, this is the time for you to get married. Or I don't advocate for any of them. Even I spoke with one of my mentees recently. I told her, if the young man is serious and ready, don't delay. You can go into marriage. You've already built something for yourself. Because most times the fear of women is, if I go into this marriage, will the person be able to support me to build? That's always a challenge. And that's why we've seen women that started, when they got married, that was the end of that business career. That's why it's also good to also look into the aspect of knowing who to marry. It's not just about the age. There are still people who marry at a very young age, but because of the kind of partner that they marry, help them nurture those businesses to life. So there is no age restriction that if it gets to this age and you have not yet built up a career, just go and get married.
You advise your lady to get married because she has already built up something for herself.
Yeah, of course.
How about someone that's starting? When you look at, let's say a typical Nigerian lady, you see that from SS1 to SS3, let's say maybe she comes out of secondary school at maybe 19 or 18, and maybe, JAM, post-UTME and all of that happens, and then you see her going into the university at maybe 21 or 22 and comes out at 24, 25, 26. What time will she have to do all of those things? That's what I want to know, because the mindset we Nigerians have is career women do not get married early. And that's what people avoid. When you hear, there was time I was having a conversation with my uncle, and I told him, they were asking of my relationship life, and I told him, you should just calm down. I want to make money for myself first before I go into it. Don't say that, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that. Because of the mindset we have as Nigerians, say career women get married at 30. Some might not even end up getting married at all. So that's the angle I'm coming from.
Okay.
So would you advise ladies or young women start building from the teenage age? When should we start building? So we can balance it.
Okay.
At least maybe before I get to 25, before I get to 26, I know I've built something that even when I get into marriage at that age, it will be a problem.
Okay. Yeah, I got your question. The problem is early orientation.
Okay.
Yes, because I believe that if there's an early orientation to our girls on building a career and building a business, I believe that before they get to 20, they should be able to know their left from their right. Because I always love watching this small girl on Facebook. She cooks. She has a kitchen. Every day she's cooking. I'm not sure she's up to 7 years. So every day she's cooking. You find out that the parents has already channeled her to a place. So you won't tell someone like that when she gets to 18 that she's still trying to struggle to where she find her place. So before she gets to 12, she might be receiving ambassadorship. Even someone like Nancy Ume's daughter, she also cooks. So these are children that at an early stage, there is this orientation. That's one of the things that I know that in the later coming years or in the later coming days to do is going to the grassroots, because that's where the problem is.
Exactly. I was going to say that all of those people you've mentioned are people that are opportune.
Exactly.
These people have something. Their parents are. Exactly. How about the people that do not have anything?
Exactly.
The average Nigerian.
Exactly. So that's why I said one of my goal or one of my mission, because I have my 4M quadrant. So in the aspect of mission, that's what I want to do, because I know that I have a whole lot of work to do on young girls. Because when the orientation is being done very early, very early. You find out that before they get to 18, they know their left from their right. It's not when they will now start scratching, what do I do? Where do I do? No confusion. They will start jumping. Today they're a baker, tomorrow they're a chef, next tomorrow they're a makeup artist, the other day they are now a chef, they are cooking. So you see the confusion comes, but when the orientation is done grassroots, so it's still something that falls back to our school system. So if school system can inculcate career development as a subject to them, not just something they bring in people once in a blue moon to come and teach, but sometimes becoming part and parcel of their life. Not just that, mindset orientation, because these are young and nurturing people, and they really, really need to know what they need to expect. I was discussing with someone earlier, and I told him that my primary school teacher did me bad, because every time I'm writing when I grew up, I was so eager to grow up. Like, we thought growing up was that
now
easy.
You're here.
Yeah, I don't grow up. I wish I need to go back to that. So that orientation, no need to paint pictures to them, or no need to paint shadows to them. Let's be real with them. Let's tell them the real deal about life, and start on time to start grooming them to their becoming, and not stealing their childhood, because a lot of them that this orientation are being given. So there's a pro, there's a con. Someone like Michael Jackson said his childhood was stolen from him. So there's also a place of striking balance, so that we don't, at the edge of orienting them about what to expect growing up or building a business, we steal their childhood from them. So there's a balance.
All right, thank you so much, Vivian. We need to go on this short break, and when we come back, we'll hear more from Vivian. Stay with us. You're still watching Women in Business right here on Afia TV, broadcasting live from Enugu City, DSTV channel 254, and Go TV channel 17, Free TV 748. And I am your host, Marvelous Apomaga. We still have Vivian with us here in the studio, and she has been telling us a lot of things about women empowerment, building a solid career before getting married as a young woman. And it's been, a wholesome time with her in the studio. Before we let you go, Vivian, I'd like you to give us practical steps.
Okay.
What should young girls do engage in laying a solid foundation before even thinking of getting married in 2025?
Okay. For me, I would tell them, first of all, is have a vision. You need to visualize it. I used to tell people, if you can't see your next 10 years, that means the next 1 year is not certain. So you should need to see your next 10 years, break it down, 5, 3, 2, 1. Even break it down in such a way that you can know what is the next step. So once you have a vision, it channels you to know the right resources or the right materials to start imbibing into. I'll recommend conferences. I'll recommend women communities. Why is a beautiful community that every woman needs to be in? Same with Lioness Hub is a beautiful community, because you can't do this alone. You need to hear other women. Most times we have moments where we let women to let loose. What is that thing that you're going through? So most of those moments are always emotional. So we let them be women that they are. Speak it out the way it is. So once you are going on a lone path, it will be difficult. But once you find a community like why, you find yourself that you have women around you, see how other people are doing it, and it gives you that energy. Another thing that has helped me so far, I would also recommend, is quality relationship. Relationship with people above you, relationship with people that are in your same circle. So it's very important that relationship that triggers you to do more. Because if you are building to become the next writer, at least you should have someone in the likes of Chimamanda in your circle who inspires you, who encourages you. So I have a network of coaches, mentors that has been at every particular level of my life, that has been a push to me to where I am today. If you leave me, I'll go back to my comfort zone. But there are people who are pushing me that you can do more. So they need those quality relationships. And then when it has to do with investing and building wealth, I recommend communities like FinTribe for them to also start saving little by little. And then at the end of it, they see how much, no matter how much it is, start saving little by. These are things I do for myself. And then immerse yourself in books, like I said earlier. Go for conferences, leave your comfort zone, go and learn, go and see how people experience life. If they are financially enough to travel out of Nigeria, they should travel out for vacation, maybe 2-3 days, have an experience of a total different of life, and be very intentional about it. Just like I said, have a vision, have quality relationship, build a network, and then have close circle of people who are pushing you to dead end possible. Because most times they have they have it in their heart, but they don't know how to step out. So they need to have people that will push them to dead end possible.
People pushing you out of your shell.
Pushing you out of your shell. I remember one of the projects I wanted to do personally for myself 3 years ago. I had it as a vision. I just shared it with one of my coach. He said, you can do it. I told him, even to the point that the day I was meant to have that speaking engagement, I still called him right in that hall. I told him, I'm in the hall. I don't even know what to say. He just said, okay, can you listen to me? Just put it, don't say anything, just play it on here. I said, I know what I saw in you and you can do this. Go and show them the real Vivian that you are. And that was the right energy. If not, I would have gone to that stage and flopped. But because I had that circle that sometimes see what I don't see. Because you are you. You might not say it, but people outside can say. So you need that energy from people. And finally, meditate. Have a meditation life whereby you allow God to speak to you and direct your path. I'm a Christian and I believe God so well. And most times without God. So most times I go into that zone where I have that quiet moment with God and I ask God, take the wheel. And he does that.
Thank you so much, Vivian, for joining us today. It was such an insightful one. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that's all on today's episode of Women in Business. Many thanks for staying with us. Do not forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Afia TV Official. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. All you have to do is type www.youtube.com/@AfiaBusiness. Do well to like, subscribe, and also leave a comment. Till I see you next time for another edition of Women in Business right here on Afia TV. I am Marvelous Apuamada. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.